Hey guys, in this video tutorial, I will create an amazing flexcards widget for Elementor by using unlimited elements plugin. I will convert this HTML and CSS code into a fully functional Elementor widget. And I will also make this widget fully mobile responsive. You can also download the ready-made widget by supporting our channel for just $5. Check the link in the video description. So let's get started. Okay, so here is the actual code and this is the modified version that I have modified. You can download it from this Git repository. I just download the code as a zip file. Don't forget to give a star to this repository. Okay, so let's dive into the code. This is the modified version. When you will download the code from the Git repository, you will see this kind of HTML CSS code in your editor. So let's jump into the Elementor. You need to install unlimited elements plugin to make the Elementor widget. This is the plugin unlimited elements for Elementor. Let me just update these plugins. If you don't have unlimited elements for Elementor, just go to plugins tab and click add new. Now search here for unlimited elements. And install and activate this plugin. To create the new widget, go to unlimited elements widgets tab, and here you can create your own widget by clicking on the add widget button. You can also create your own categories. Let me just click on add widget. Give your widget a name and a unique widget ID and provide some description. Okay, so widget is successfully added. Just click this pencil icon. You will be taken to the editing screen of the widget. Let me choose an icon for this widget. You can choose any icon for your widget from this list. Okay, you can also provide a link to your helping documentation or widget preview. Click on update. Let's get into the attributes. In this screen we will create a main attribute for the widget, that is alignment, to control the alignment of the cards, and we will make it a drop down field. There are a couple of other field types that are some available in the free and some are available in the pro version of this plugin. We will just use the free version. Select drop down and we will add three values: item text and item value. You can click this plus icon to add more items or values. Check this box to make the item a default, to make this value a default value. Okay, let's click on add attribute. You can explore the unlimited elements documentation to learn more about adding attributes or using its widgets creation panel. Because in this short tutorial I can't explain everything to you. You can just go ahead and read this documentation on creating the widget. Okay, so let's get back into our widget creation screen. Now navigate to items attribute and click on enable items. Now we will define item attributes. You can see we need a background image, card title, icon and some description. So we will create the main attributes title. It's fine, it's already added. Let me just name it card title. You can give this field a default value, and you can also enable font edit. This will allow the user to change the font size and color scheme. let's add another attribute for the description. Okay, you can assign a default value to this section as well. Now enable the font edit for this field. Let me just make it text area instead of text box. Okay, and allow font edit, update attribute. Now let's create a new attribute, which is an icon library. You can give the user the ability to select the icon from Elementor icon library. I will name it just icon. You can provide a default value in form of font awesome class. If you are familiar with font awesome, you should know that you can assign a specific class for the icon. Okay, now let's add another field, which is image media for the background image. Okay, you can assign a default image. I will discuss it later on. Let's add another attribute, the final attribute, which is a color picker for the icon. This will allow the user to change the color of the icon from the widget settings. Okay, add attribute. Okay, finally we have created all the attributes required. You can add more attributes as you like. Now let's navigate to this another tab, which is HTML. Just make sure to keep updating the widget after each change you make, because by any chance if you reload the page, the settings will be lost. Okay, so here is the main widget HTML that we will be copying from here. Let me first select the item HTML, which is this one, and paste it into the item HTML. This code will be repeated for each item, so we will use some dynamic attributes over here that we have defined. Now let me remove all of these item HTML, and I will just copy the main containers of this widget, this one. Okay, I am cutting it because I will know that what code I have moved over here. Okay, so here is your widget HTML. Now to add the each item HTML over here, that is this one, we will use the attributes from the right side. There are a lot of attributes that you can use, but to use the item HTML you will use the put items attribute or code from the right side. This will repeat the item HTML inside that widget containers. Okay, now we will use the attribute values in the static section where the values are hard coded or defined. We will use the attributes from right side or their values. For the background image we will use this one, and for the icon we will replace this one with the item icon. Okay, now let's change this one, and this one. Okay, now you can see there is an active class that is applied to this item HTML, but I don't want to repeat the active class in each element or in each item. This will disturb the layout because the active class has some special styling. So we will apply the active class only to the first item. How you can do that? You can create a new variable from add variable and give it a name. I will just name it active class, and I will assign the value for the first item only. You can check this box for the first item value, and I will give this box the text active, and I will replace this one with the variable which is available over here. Now it will print the active class or active text only into the first item, and I will also include the item ID variable over here to apply some unique styling to the item, which is basically the icon color. Okay, update, and let's navigate to the CSS section. Now copy the CSS code from the CSS file. Just don't use the font awesome include, because we will include it from the widget settings. Copy rest of the code and paste it over here in the widget CSS box, and we will use some item specific styling, like when we want to change the color of the icon, we will use the CSS in the item CSS section. Let me just copy this class and icon selector. Now I will remove this active class and replace this with item ID, so it will change the color of the icon in the selected item only. We have created the item icon attribute, we will use it over here. Okay, let's just update the widget. Now move on to the JavaScript tab. The JavaScript code is available in the HTML document, which is this one. Copy this code without the script tag, and I will just revert all the code for my local copy. Paste the JavaScript code here. Now change the $sign with the jQuery keyword to avoid any kind of conflict with other plugins or widgets. Okay, update this one. Okay, now let's move on to the JSCSS or includes tab. You can include built-in libraries. We will need two libraries, jQuery and Fort Awesome. You can also include third-party libraries if needed for your code. In the assets tab, create a new folder for your widgets assets. We will store the default images or data in this folder. Now select this folder and set this as the asset path. Update this one. Now let me upload an image in this folder for default card or item image. Click on upload and then drag the image over here. Okay, now let's get back to items attribute and select the background image. Now you will have the option to select a default image for the card. Update. Now let's test this widget. Go to pages and I will create a new page to test this widget. I will select Elementor canvas template for this page. Now edit this page with Elementor. I will just create a new section with a minimum height of 600 pixels. Now scroll down in the widgets panel and you will see your newly created widget over here. just drag it in the editing area, and now you can see all the controls for the widget. In the items tab you can create new items. Let me add an item, and you can see all the attributes are here. I will just duplicate this one. Everything is working fine. I will make some copies. Now let's change the text and the media and icon or images for these cards, and I will adjust some CSS of the icons later on, because you can see the icons in the inactive cards are not aligned well. Okay, so as you can see, everything is working perfectly. Colors are changing, content is changing in the items, and so on. Now let's adjust some CSS of these cards, styling basically, and we haven't activated the alignment attribute. Let's just navigate to the CSS section and scroll to top, and you will see the justify content property of the WPSC Flex Cards class. Just use the alignment attribute over here. Let me reload this one and test this out. Okay, let's check it. Okay, finally successfully the alignment of the cards is changing according to the value. Let me just rearrange these items. Okay, so I will fix some CSS code for the item icons, and I will provide you the updated CSS code if you are copying the code from my Git repository. Let's just have a preview of this widget. Okay, great. Now I will adjust the positioning of the icons in the inactive cards. Okay, that's great. That looks nice now. Now let's test the styling. You can now successfully change the font styling of the card title or description. I have applied some font size value in the CSS section. Let me just remove it so we can have the font styling applied from the widget setting appropriately, because it is multiplying with the default font size that we have assigned to the card title. Okay, so it's fine. You can also change the item description or style over here. And now let me just add some styling to this section and some headings. Okay, to set the preview of the widget like this one, just screenshot your widget by using any tool and edit this widget. You will need to name the image as exactly like this. I will just screenshot the widget now. Copy the name from here and now upload this image in the assets folder. Update. Now let's get back to the widgets list, and now you can see your widget also has a preview. You can also export this widget from this export widget tab, which download this zip folder and you can reuse it in any website where you have installed the unlimited elements. To import this widget, just simply get back to the widgets list and you can click on this import widgets button and drag your zip file over here. You can also download the ready-made widget zip file of this tutorial by supporting our channel by just for $5. And of course you can simply follow the tutorial and use the HTML CSS code I have given in the Git repository and build this exact same widget by your own. So I hope this video will help you create amazing widgets from HTML CSS and JavaScript code by using unlimited elements. And if you have enjoyed watching the video, click the like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you won't miss any amazing video tutorials like this. Happy designing with Elementor.